Hi everyone, I'm Brock. So today the book I want to review is called 佐贺的超级阿嬷 Saga no Gabai Bāchan. Let's start. So the book's path to print is itself a story of unlikely triumph, and its timeline is often misremembered. The earliest version was 回首亦不悲伤, looking back, not even sad, which Shimada self-published in 1987 through Alt Publishing in a run of about 3,000 copies. It drew almost no attention and went out to print. In 2001, after revision and expansion, it was retitled Saga no Gabai Bāchan and reissued by Akihiro, still essentially self-funded. The first appearance of the book and its present title, the year this report adopts. The real explosion came in 2003 to 2004. In 2003, the author appeared on a long-running talk show, Casco's Room, to tell his grandmother's stories, and word of mouth spread fast. After Tokuma Sultan reissued the book and released a paperback edition in 2004, it became a nationwide bestseller. By various accounts, the single volume had sold roughly 4 million copies by 2007, the series over 6.7 million by 2008, and the series eventually surpassed 10 million copies, with translation published in South Korea, Taiwan, mainland China, Malaysia, and elsewhere. Gabai is an adverb in Saga dialect, means very amazing. For example, Gabai Sukka means extremely impressive. Strictly in addition, Saga grammar Gabai is an adverb modifying verbs, adjectives, and cannot sit directly before the noun Bāchan, which means granny. The correct form would be Gabai Sugokar. The amazing, impressive granny. The author himself admits the title usage is not orthodox. The Chinese title cleverly re-render this
Done.
exaggerated affective flavor as super 超级. This book is a classical case of long tail revival. in Japanese publishing. From an enlarged 3,000 copy self-publication in 1987 to a serial selling over 10 million copies after 2004. What it struck was a long, stagnant, anxious mood of post-bubble Japan. In an age when everyone complained of hard times, grandma's philosophy that one can be optimistic, mutually supportive, and content even without money, often readers enormous consolation and Suwa arrow nostalgia. It resonated strongly abroad as well, becoming a phenomenal bestseller in South Korea and a steady seller in Taiwan, mainland China, and Malaysia. Sikh Prefecture, which is Taco City, where the film was shot, even briefly set up a dedicated Saga now Gabai Bāchan section to promote tourism. Spurring story tourism with Saga as destination. In 1945, autumn bombing of Hiroshima. His father later irradiated entering the city. In 1950, Akihiro Tokunaga, stage name which is Yoshichi Shimada, born in Hiroshima. 1952, father death of radiation sickness when Akihiro is about 2. 1958, sent to his grandmother in Saga, lives here about 8 years, the book's start point. 1971, apprentices under the manzai master Shimada Yunusuka. 1972, debuts with the first incarnation of duo B&B. Around 1975, cycles the classical B&B in-app with Shimada Yohachi. In 1983, B&B disbanded. 6 lane years follow. 1991, his grandmother dies this year, aged 91. Shimada's life was marked from the start by Hiroshima bomb. On August 6, 1945, the world's first atomic bomb fell on Hiroshima. His parents had evacuated to Saga and was spread. But his father returned alone a week later to check on their home. Grave in the residue radiation. contracted autumn sickness, and died when Akihiro was about 2. Akihiro thus had no memory of his father. He is, in his own words, the keepsake his father left to his mother. His mother ran a small tavern beside the Hiroshima Peace Memorial, and raised Akihiro and his elder brother alone. The boy was so attached to her that he kept sleeping out at night to her shop. To her great worry. So in 1958, on the pretext of seeing his aunt off back to Saga, she pushed him from behind onto a Nagasaki-bound train at Hiroshima Station. And this well-meant deception opens the entire book. It is easy forgotten that Shimada was first a manzai performer, famous long before he became the author. He apprenticed under Shimada Yonazuka in 1971, formed the duo B&B in 1972. And around 1975, Saito's classical lineup with his partner, Shimada Yohachi. Famous for his machine gun delivery and aggressive comic recitals. His signature bit, rapid fire shots of Hiroshima's specialty Muji Manju, was a sensation. Around 1980, B&B became the core and forerunner of Japan's manzai boom, nationally famous, reportedly earning hundreds of millions yuan a year at its peak. After the duo disbanded in 1983, he went through some 6 lean years, and it was preciously this setback that pushed him towards writing. The seed of the book came from the stage. For years, Shimada had told audience in live TVs and lectures the funny, touching tales of his childhood with his grandmother to great response, gradually building a body of material. In 1987, he turned these stories into a self-published book. Reportedly retitled on the advice of his friend, the comedian Tetsu Kitako. But it was repeatedly overlooked. And only after 2001, retelling his 2003 appearance on Tatsuko's Room, and the 2004 Tokuma reissued, did it become a phenomenal bestseller. With that, he completed his transformation from star comedian to best-selling author and a nationwide lecturer. His lecture appearances are said to number in thousands. Shimada's style can be summarized in one line, as if the words spoken on stage were written down directly. Plain, colloquial, brisk paste. It is built from self-contained little stories, the grandmother's sayings, the wisdom of finding joy in poverty, blending humor and warmth. It makes you laugh at first and it makes your eyes well up. It's not professional prose stylist polishing his sentences. The writing wins by sincerity, intimacy, and readability, because the author is, after all, a stage comedian. Friends joke that 90% of what he says is embellished. So the book is best read as a warm recollection rather than a strict literal documentary. Plot summary. Time and place. The main story unfolds over roughly 8 years from 1958 in Saga City, Japan. Against the destitute small-town life of post-war Showa era. The grandmother's home is a tumble-down, thatched hut between the river and the woods, half its roof patched with tin, and the river before it, a tributary of Tambles, is one she calls a family supermarket. The Flame is an adult author looking back on childhood with a shadow of Hiroshima bomb in the far distance. Act 1, Pushed from behind. After the war, Akihiro's father had died for radiation sickness, and his mother raised him and his brother alone in Hiroshima. At 8, he's claiming that he keeps running her stop at night. So she staged a canned deception on the pretext of seeing his aunt Kisako off at the station. She has her dressed up and shine his shoes. Then, as the departure bell rings, shoved him onto the Nagasaki bound train. Through the window, he saw both his Aunt Mars and Aunt Viking, and only then understand he's being sent away, his life pushed from behind. Act 2, From Poverty to Poverty. His aunt walked him 40 minutes through the dark of Riverside Heart. To his surprise, his grandma is tall, fair-skinned, and elegant. Yet her first words was brisk, "Follow me." And that very night, she teaches him to light the stove and cook, since she must leave at 4 each morning to work as a cleaner. The next day, he witnessed her astonishing ingenuity. Walking home from work, he drags a magnet on a rope from her vest, picking up nails and scrap to sell. Heaven will punish you for not picking up what's fallen on the road. And across the river, she has laid a wooden bar to catch the forked radishes. Bent cucumbers and blanched fruit flew out from the upstream market, calling the river a supermarket and delivered to your door, freight-free, and joking when it catch nothing. Is the supermarket closed today? This fragility and resourcefulness turning hardship into invention. Drops Akihiro from Hiroshima poverty into an even more thorough Saga destitution, yet opens years of joy few even know. X-ray, cheerfully poor and true candleless. Akihiro turns to Akamatsu Elementary. The classroom is an old tatami tea room. When he wants to take up kendo or judo, both of which cost money, the grandma refuses and instead recommends him free running. This seemingly offhand advice will one day make him a star runner. When he laments, "It'll be nice to be rich someday," she delivers the book's soul line. There are two kinds of poor, the gloomily poor and the cheerfully poor. Our family is cheerfully poor. The most moving motive at the sports day. His mother, working to send money, can never come. So each year he brings only plain rice with pickled plum and hides alone in the classroom. And every year, his homeroom teacher invents a stomachs to swap to for a hero's lunch, heading over a feast of scrambled egg, sausage, and fried shrimp. Only 6 grains that he learned from his grandmother. This is true candidness. Real candidness is a kind the receiver never notices. Act 4. Baseball. Mother and first love. The latter half is carried by baseball. In middle school, thanks to the running his grandmother had once forced on him, Akihiro makes the varsity team as a first year and becomes captain. The grandmother goes from pretending not to know, to secretly watching from the shadows, to shamelessly shouting, "Akihiro, hit a big one." On the day he's named captain, she puts 10,000 yuan from her treasured chest. Engraved with the crest of Nabashima Lord, and rushed to buy him the most expensive sport shoes before the store closed. His friend's loyalty is just as warm. The farm boy, Manami, fills his bag with potatoes and onions and the excuse showing Tokunaga different vegetables. And the laundryman's son, Hanshiguchi, secretly pressed his uniform crepe every Saturday. First love is bittersweet and funny. In his second year, a basketball club girl, Yoshinaga, who looks like the actress Sayuri Yoshinaga, keeps treating him to hot noodles on invented pretexts. Unable to repay her, she climbs a wall at night to steal oranges from Grant House for days on end. Only to discover that Grant House is Yoshinaga's own. Act 5. The emotional climax is 8. Sports Day in Saga. For once, his mother writes back, I'll come back this year. I'm looking forward to it. The centerpiece is a 7 kilometers race around the cast mold. The day before, she has not arrived, and Akihiro lies awake all night. As the race passes his house, he runs head down, lonely and dreaming, and there is his mother at the gate, shouting and waving at all her might. The grandmother beside her. Mr. Tanaka, leading on a motorcycle, cries through tears. Look at your mother. Run with your head held high. Akihiro shouts, Mom, I'm fast. I'm not good at starting, but I can run. And she chokes back. Your legs are your mother's. Your head is your father's. He breaks the tape first, 200 meters ahead, a school record. Act 6. Madding and True Candleless. The harshest lesson comes before the graduation trip. The quiet teammate Kubo, whose mother is hospitalized, had spent all his savings and gives up the trip. Bag and Akihiro keep it secret. Akihiro rallies the team to do some jobs in the heat and forced 20,000 yuan on him. But Kubo still does not go, and is revered as someone who just wanted money. Back in Saga, a hero tagged him to demand an answer. Kubo produced a brand new catcher's meat, bat, and balls bought with that money. I never mean to go on the trip. I wanted to leave this for the juniors. Akihiro cool tones in apologize for the first time in his life. confirming once more that real candidacy is a kind that receivers never notice, and realized in pain that he had only forced his candidacy on Kudo to satisfy himself. Final, goodbye, Saga. Akihiro wins a tuition-free place at Hiroshima's Koya High School, a famous Kusin baseball school. On Mr. Tanaka's recommendation, letting him both study free and return to his mother. His grandma says wonderful and free too, yet keeps murmuring Saga Commercial High School would have been fine too. And then I could have kept watching your practice. Reluctant but never openly asking him to stay. One dawn, a week later, he leaves with a small bag. She doesn't send him off, only washing a prod on the river with her back turned, hiding her tears behind a murmured water, and repeating, good, off you go. When he's 20 or 30 steps away, her cries finally breaks free behind him. Don't go. The book ends on that single line, lifting the love between grandmother and grandson to its peak. Life is full of starts and endings. I don't want to end a new old journey and start a new journey. But years later, if you are lucky enough, the unpredicted start journey
Round 2, complete review needed.
become another, new journey, and the life repeats this over and over again. Same analysis. Same one. Cheerfully poor, optimistic in poverty. The book's ground tone is destitution, yet it refuses self-pity, flipping poverty from a curse of fate into a chosen stance. This is the grandmother's central creed and the book's most widely quoted idea. Theme 2. Tribalism and resourcefulness. The grandmother turns hardship into invention, dragging a magnet for scrap, the river bar catching driftwood and vegetables to supermarket, tea drags into seasoning, fish bones into soup, then chicken feet. Watermelon rain into pickles. Her faith is not a stillness, but a reverence for all things. Theme 3. The love of grandmother and the mother. The deepest current is love, almost never spoken. The grandmother's love has in rice bowl, in sparked shoes, in watching games from shadows. The mother's love has in the monthly announcement and in one belated cry. Grandma's grandson and mother's son opens with a push at the station and close with a cheer at sports day and the farewell at the river, in perfect symmetry. Scene 4. real kindness goes unnoticed. This is an ethical creed. The grandmother repeats, and the whole book confirms. The highest kindness seems no return, leaves no trace, and is even deliberately hidden to protect the dignity of the other who receives it. It forms a hidden thread of goodwill running through the entire book. Scene 5. Education and growth, total strength and character. The grandmother's view of education is boldly unorthodox. She never measures a child by grades, prizing instead of the body, loyalty, and character. Having once pushed Akihiro toward free running, years later, she has unwittingly made her running talent and his path to school possible. The book's gentle ironic about useful versus useless, studying versus growing up. Theme 6. A slice of post-war common life. Beneath the warmth, the book is also precious social snapshot. The Hiroshima bomb. A father died of atomic sickness. Cities districts like vast shantytown. School nutrition surveys and skim milk. Children escaping school to work for household. The nationwide yearning to casino tournament. The Bone Festival spirit votes. To get sketching the texture of ordinary Japanese life and post-war reconstruction in the late 1950s. Brock's reading reflection. A book that awakened Jaja. The most beaten child and the psychology discipline. Dimension 3. The true memory and motivated forgetting. Dimension 4. Dormant and ignited, reading as a fuse. Insight 1. Happiness is a capacity, not a possession. Insight 2. Thrift is creativity and reverence. Insight 3. The highest kindness goes unfelt by its recipient. Insight 4. Do not measure a child with a single ruler. Insight 5. Love needs not to be shouted. Insight 6. Remember the person who lit up your childhood. Saga no Gabai Bāchan is about the destitution of the 1950s. Yet it's precisely the anecdote to 2026, when
Attention needed.
material abundance has never been greater and anxiety never more pervasive. Grandmother's cheerfully poor philosophy offers a plan. From coordinated happiness was never in distant brands and restaurants, but in a bowl of white rice, a sharp love, and a quiet act of kindness. To read this book is to practice 3 things. Move your gaze from what I like to what I have. Learn a way of giving that wants no one's dignity. While there is still time, look back on and repay the person who once lit you away. This is why a little book about poverty is still treasured by tens of millions decades on. Yeah, that's pretty much about this book. This book is not very long, and I still can remember the. I believe that I have tears when I read this book, and yes, that's pretty much about it. Thank you, everyone. Bye.